13 days, just 13. And then the silence ends, the gates open, and everything we've been holding our breath for begins to unfold. Because 2 Saturdays from now, the rookies, those wide-eyed, hungry, ambitious rookies, report to Chicago Bears training camp. And that's when the real story starts. That's when the speculation dies, and reality walks through the doors of Hollis Hall. Cleats laced, eyes steeled, futures unwritten. And let me tell you right now, if you think this is just another preseason, just another hopeful Bears summer, you've got another thing coming. Because this one, this camp, this roster, this moment in time, it feels different, it feels volatile, and you can already sense something stirring beneath the surface, something building, like a storm forming quietly over Lake Michigan, waiting to unleash. And I can't stop thinking, are we actually about to witness the turning point? The first steps of the Bears not just clawing back into respectability, but crashing into playoff contention like a team that's finally done playing nice and started playing to win? Because everything this franchise has done over the past 6 months, the hiring of a head coach with actual vision, the building of a staff that doesn't feel like a patchwork but a philosophy, the trench warfare mentality in the offensive line rebuild, the influx of weapons around a quarterback who just might be the real damn deal, it all feels like a fuse has been lit, and we're waiting for the detonation. But before we crown anything, we need to zoom out, step back, and ask the brutal question: how good are the Bears, really, compared to the rest of the NFC? And that's why I did it. I sat down, ranked every single team in the conference, not with bias or blind hope, but with cold calculation. Because if we're going to predict where this goes, we need to know who stands in our way, who's blocking the road to the playoffs, who's real, and who's pretending. And let's be honest, there's only one team right now at the top of the mountain, the Philadelphia Eagles. The machine in midnight green is still humming, still dangerous, still loaded with that venomous blend of veteran poise and young aggression. And say what you want about Mahomes' magic in the Super Bowl, Philly was the better team. By the stats, by the tape, by the feel. They just ran into a buzzsaw, and now they're coming back angry, reloaded, and healthy. And I don't see how anyone can knock them out of that #1 spot. Yet. But right behind them is where the chaos begins. And here's where you might think I'm crazy. But I'm putting the Los Angeles Rams at #2. Yes, the Rams. A team most of the league stopped taking seriously. But I see something the rest of the NFC is sleeping on. Stafford still has bullets in the chamber. McVay's mind is sharper than ever. And they just upgraded from a fading Cooper Kupp to a still lethal Davante Adams. And with a young defense ready to leap, I'm telling you right now, LA is back. And they're not just sneaking in. They're gunning for blood. Then at #3, I've got Detroit. And yeah, that might sting a little, but respect where respect's due. The Lions built a culture, a violent, physical, relentless culture that took them from punchline to powerhouse. And while they lose Ben Johnson, and that's a massive loss, the bones of this team are still strong. Though I'm watching Goff closely, because outside of McVay and Johnson, he's never been this version of himself. And if he falters, the whole thing could start to wobble, especially with a division hungry to dethrone them. #4, Tampa Bay. Don't roll your eyes, because what Baker Mayfield did last year wasn't a fluke. It was a resurrection. And when you stack that with a top-tier receiver room, an underrated coaching staff, and Vita Vea and Khalija Kancey plugging the middle on defense like twin wrecking balls, I see a team that can beat you ugly, beat you fast, or beat you late. and that matters in January. Fifth, the Washington Commanders, year 2 of Jaden Daniels, now paired with Deebo Samuel and a defense that hits like a train. That's a team nobody wants to play, especially when the cold sets in and playoff positioning becomes a fist fight. And now we arrive at the heart of this storm, because at 6, I've got them. The Chicago Bears. And let me be crystal clear. This isn't about wishful thinking. This is about what's already here. Caleb Williams stepping into year 2 with confidence, command, and composure most veterans never touch. Throwing to a wide receiver trio of DJ Moore. The Chicago Bears, and let me be crystal clear, this isn't about wishful thinking. This is about what's already here. Caleb Williams stepping into year 2 with confidence, command, and composure most veterans never touch. Throwing to a wide receiver trio of DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and Rome Odunze that rivals any in the league. Finally standing behind an offensive line that looks not just functional, but ferocious, with a defense that's got nasty written all over it. And most importantly, for the first time in a long time, the Bears have an identity, a vision, and a coaching staff that knows how to build a team around it. We're not chasing mediocrity anymore. We're hunting something bigger. But the road won't be paved with compliments, because snapping at our heels are the Vikings, who slide into my 7th spot not by accident, but because their defense, quietly one of the best in the NFL last year, is built to win the ugly games. And even if McCarthy struggles early, O'Connell knows how to manufacture quarterback stability from thin air. And that'll be enough to keep them in every contest. And so now we draw the line. Those 7 go in, and below it, the heartbreak begins. Green Bay, San Francisco, Dallas, each just outside the door, banging to be let back in, but facing hard truths. The Packers, with Jordan Love still developing, still learning when to strike and when to hold, surrounded by flashes of potential but weighed down by inconsistency. The 49ers, aging fast, brittle in key spots, and quietly teetering on a cliff no one wants to admit exists. And the Cowboys, talented, yes, but giving up 468 points in 18 games isn't a defense, it's a disaster. And you can't outscore dysfunction forever. So if you're a Bears fan and you want the real path, the true north, here it is. Beat the Packers, beat the 49ers, beat the Cowboys. Those are your playoff keys, your litmus tests, your crossroads games, and if you can't handle those